Hello there guys and welcome back to the video. So first of all, a fair warning, this is in fact a rant video. It has no meaningful useful information to learn, just me venting out something that the more I thought about it frustrated me more and more. Actually, how brought this up in a couple of streams and how had a fairly long discussion with a friend of mine on the subject as well. And that is to do with Kabam selling Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen. So these offers cost like a $5. I don't know how many of these you need to buy in order to be able to exchange them for Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen as a 7-star, once the time comes, once it's actually out and available. But initially, I was kind of overwhelmed by that Kabam stream where they announced like sale and special offer, one after another, where the dislike from this offer and some others was generally kind of overshadowed by how much of new things coming to the game are, just sales effectively. You want dupe on your Phoenix? That's X amount of dollars basically. You want a new idol champion? That will cost for most people. You want the new buffed Cyclops 7-star? There we go. You have to pay for that. So on and so forth. So Kabam announced like 5 sales, and so this one didn't get that much attention. But when I actually saw it in game, I started thinking about it more and more and more. And more specifically about the fact that Kabam is effectively charging money from people to give them Daredevil Hell's Kitchen. And in order to fully explain my issue with that, we need to take a look at his release date, his presence in the game up until now, and who he actually is. So he is a champion that got released in 2015. He was obviously inspired by the Daredevil TV show. And fact of the matter is, we have always had access to Daredevil Hell's Kitchen at the highest rarity up until the 7-star release. He was added as 5-star, 6-star, from the release. Which means that at any point throughout the history of the game, we could have maxed him out and used him. And we didn't. Why? Because he sucks. He has always sucked, and he has been mediocre at best upon release and got at the bottom of the tier for most of the time. And effectively, Daredevil Hell's Kitchen right now fulfills 2 roles in this game. Role number 1 is arena points. Any champion has some determined minimal amount of value where you can use him as an arena fodder. Or if it's like your first 6-star and something like that, but realistically you wouldn't even bother. So effectively he's arena points. The other purpose of Daredevil Hell's Kitchen in this game is to make any crystal containing him worse. Because let's face it, at no point after his initial release, not a single one of us has opened any crystal in the existence of this game and said, oh boy, I hope I pulled Daredevil Hell's Kitchen. Well, I'm sure there's going to be somebody in comment section, because I do think I have seen 2 in effectively 10 years that are, ranked up highly. But the point is, any crystal containing Daredevil Hell's Kitchen is made worse by Daredevil Hell's Kitchen. If there was, if Kabam added him in Titan Crystal and you'd pull him, you'd dread pulling him, and you would be very unhappy by pulling him. If he was in the 7-star basic pull, you still wouldn't want to pull him. Any event crystal, you absolutely would not want him. If Kabam added him in the 7-star loyalty crystal or the 7-star incursions crystal, he would be the champion you're trying to avoid. So he's absolutely shit. And then we need to somehow marry the fact that he has no purpose, no meaning, no use for any player ever in this game, and combine that with the fact that Kabam expects real money for him. Like, Kabam expects people to use money for their Devil Hell's Kitchen. It's befuddling to me. That screams to me of somebody who is getting high on their own supply. Somebody who is so full of shit that they are smelling their own farts and think they are smelling wonderful. Completely out of touch of their own game. It is psychologically psychopathic behavior. They are offering you one of the worst champions that they have made for money, for the ability to directly target that champion and get this voluntarily for cash, the ability to get one of the worst champions in the game. Let's say bottom 20, bottom 30. That's insane. There is, however, obviously another explanation of the offer, and that is quite simple. That they are trying to capitalize of the new Daredevil series. But here is what makes it even worse, because realistically, any player who has played this game for any meaningful amount of time will know that this Daredevil is shit. We all have had the chance to use him as a 3, 4, 5, 6 star. We all know he's useless. We all know that he's a champion that is definition of absolutely not worth the effort or investment. But there will be newer players who have joined the game somewhat recently and, you know, have never paid attention to him, have never really played, and they might think, oh, he looks cool. He's from the new TV show. I should try and get him and spend money on it. So, when you say Kabam is trying to capitalize on the popularity or the release of the Daredevil TV show, what it actually means, Kabam is knowingly and purposely trying to sell a shit champion that I'm sure they know is shit, that all the experienced players are know shit, to unsuspecting people who might not know it. Because that is the only plausible reason why somebody might want to spend money on Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen. Because as we established, we all have had the chance to rank, invest, use him, and so on and so forth. None of us really wanted, like 99.99% of the people said, he sucks. We don't want him. He has no value. And then Kabam is saying, do you see this Daredevil Hell's Kitchen? He looks kind of cool, doesn't it? There's a TV show. You might want to get him as a guaranteed 7 star. So you might want to spend some cash. And that is, again, only reason why somebody would buy these, and the only, let's say, viable target audience for this would be players who do not know that he's absolutely shit. So they are either psychotic, trying to sell you one of the worst champions in the game, or they are being deliberately predatory, trying to sell it to people who do not know better, people who do not know how bad he is, people who do not have any idea of his actual in-game value. Either one of these things is kind of awful. Either one of these things do tell you quite a lot about whoever's making these offers or whoever's in charge of these. Now, they could have obviously made this an insanely lucrative deal by releasing Kingpin instead of Daredevil, or releasing them both together or something like that, and selling actually something good and of value. But they couldn't, or, well, just didn't even do that. They chose someone that's garbage to sell for real money, likely targeting people who do not know how garbage he is, because they either haven't played long enough or do not play the game seriously enough. But God, it's such a shitty behavior. This is exactly the type of thing that always makes me think worse of people working at Kabam and Kabam in general as a company. Because they could be at the very, if they are so goddamn determined to monetize this game 10 ways and on a Sunday, then they could at least be selling something of value or something decent, not scam people into buying one of the shittest champions ever released. Let me know what you guys think of it, but yeah, the more I ponder about this, again, the more dislike it creates in me towards whoever's responsible of offers like this. And I warned you in beforehand, this is a rant video, but it could also serve as a food for thought. So let me know what you think, and I'm going to catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about